fans of Maysville, Kentucky area. Yes, you are on Maysville, Kentucky Simple Living, a YouTube channel dedicated to showing the history, in video that is, of our local hometown area, of activities and all kinds of stuff from the past. Today isn't going to be any different. We're going to talk about an individual that I used to work for back in high school, like many other folks did in the Maysville area, became a great entrepreneur and put on some of the coolest stuff you've ever seen for the Maysville area. Clyde Barbour was born on 30 May 1931 in Lewis County, Kentucky. His parents was Omar and Lena Barber. It is apparent that this fellow was going to be an entrepreneur from a young age. At 12 years old, it was known that he was pulling a little red wagon delivering groceries for the Kroger Company. Clyde was a graduate of Maysville High School in 1948. Upon graduation, he continued to pursue the grocery business. From 1950 to 1955, Clyde managed a Kroger store in Milford, Ohio, and then was a manager of a Thriftway store in the Loveland area of Ohio. He eventually moved back to Maysville and bought his first Thriftway store down on Market Street in Maysville, Kentucky in 1961, where he became affiliated with the Super Value store program. Not stopping with just a store on Market Street, Clyde decided to open his own store with his own name on it over in Aberdeen, Ohio. The $300,000 building. You have to remember, this is 1962, where that would be in the millions today. The beautiful, spacious supermarket will be open at 9 a.m. with a ribbon cutting ceremony in which Aberdeen Mayor G.H. Shelton and WFTM's Mrs. Dorothy Wood will perform the formalities. Many special awards will be made on this occasion. 4,000 carnations will be given away in the first 4 days. A total of 1,000 to be bestowed on the ladies each day, Wednesday through Saturday. Also, there will be a special souvenir for the children. A grand prize consisting of a 5-piece Rogers silver service, coffee, tea, creamer, sugar, and tray will be presented to a lucky person. Check out the crowd at this picture of the opening store in Aberdeen. Whoa! Looks like half the town showed up for this one. Business has expanded so rapidly under Mr. Barber's visionary management that he decided to open up another store. He bought a lot of property on the 1200 block of 4th Avenue in East End of Maysville, but is targeted for completion by July 15, 1965. Mr. Barber opened up his $400,000 4th Avenue store on 15 December 1965. By researching the story, I found these two pictures. Now, I don't know what the dates are. I don't remember this one because this is the store I used to work for back in high school in the middle 70s. There's Clyde Barbour inside a bucket truck, I guess getting everybody lined up. And then there he is on the front row of this really cool looking group picture of the 4th Avenue store. Operating the store is very profitable. And Clyde always wanted to give back to the community, which I'm going to give you quite a few examples of that here soon. But the first one was in 1965. Clyde gave away a brand new 1965 Mustang as a contest. Wow, can you imagine owning that rascal today? That would be sweet. Clyde gave away 2 Rivieras on December 19th, 1965. And in 1967, 2 hardtop GTOs. Wow, that's some classic cars for contest giveaways. Some does not understand how this fella can do this. He already has 2 stores under his belt. He's got a 3rd one on the way. He has 9 children, president of the Rotary Club at the time, and into all kinds of other things, and was elected Father of the Year of 1965. Now that's classic. Around 1967-68, when I was about 9 years old, Clyde Barbour sponsored an afternoon matinee at the Russell Theater. So all the kids can come and watch whatever probably the Disney movie was of the day. I don't even remember what it was. But we all had a chance to win a bicycle. And it seems like every week, I found out by research, that he offered 6 different weeks of these matinees, and the place was full of kids. I can still remember that. But he always drew out 2 tickets for a little boy or a little girl to get a bike. And always wanted to win one of those, but never did. Also in the middle of 1960s, Clyde Barbour sponsored a holiday bowling tournament at Town and Country Lanes in Aberdeen, Ohio. Bill Goldsmith of the Goldsmith Golfers won first prize. Clyde presented him with a trophy and a check for $200. That's a pretty sweet Christmas gift. Mr. Barber was not finished with opening stores yet. In 1970, he opened Carol Jean Flowers right beside the Avenue store. The Ohio Valley Nursery Company, built right beside the Aberdeen store, became in existence in 1972. The Ripley, Ohio store was opened in 1972. And the downtown Maysville store, which was formerly a Kroger store, is now a Clyde Super Value store. Another service offered by the Clyde stores: if you called the store and need a ride, we would come and pick you up in the courtesy van. You shop at the store and we take you all home, free of charge. During the summer months, Tuesdays was considered Clyde's Day at the Maysville Mesa County Rec Park swimming pool. Any kid could walk into a Clyde store between the ages of 8 and 18, buy a ticket for $0.25, which was honored at the pool. It seems the more I dig and research, the more I find about giveaways that Clyde offers throughout his stores. Here's one where Miss Penny Bailey was offered a ham to give for free at the Younger Women's Club on Court Day. This one was offered by Kenny Barber, one of Clyde's sons, who is a manager of a store. In December of 1972, Clyde gave away a 1973 Pontiac Grand Am. Leroy Haugen was the store manager of the Avenue store when I worked there, presented Carolyn Beckett with a check for $100. The Super Value store chains is giving out $30,000 worth of gifts in this promotion. Let's talk about some of the entertainment functions that the Clyde stores offer to the public. On 25 May of 1977, the Clydes offered anybody that wished to go a trip to the Beverly Hills Supper Club to see entertainer John Davidson in action. The tickets were only $15 a piece with tax and tip included. Some of you may not remember this, but I do. It was the weekend that I graduated from high school. That Saturday night, 28 May of 1977, the Beverly Hills Supper Club caught on fire, with 165 folks dying in the flames. The place burned to the ground. It was a national tragedy that those of our generation will never forget. Probably one of the most well-remembered programs that Clyde Barbour offered was a Maysville exposition and trade fairs. This went on for 5 different years, and it took him several years just to get the warehouses in shape with power and so forth to be able to offer these programs. But by 1983, he lured Juice Newton, the Beach Boys, and the Charlie Daniels Band to come and perform in little old Maysville, Kentucky. But the main reason of the exposition fair was to allow the local businesses in our area to set up shop as a trade fair to show what things they offered. For the window shoppers at the expo, exhibitors brought water beds, boats, cars, computers, oil wells, and windows. There were live demonstrations of carpet cleaning, free samples of potato chips, and chewing tobacco, and raffles for everything from bank accounts to television sets. The gamblers even had their choice of fun. Place your bets, the owner barks, spinning the wheel. He had a hand on a tin cover over a white rat. When all the bets were in, he lifted the cover and the frightened rat ran for the colored holes around the wheels. In the red hole he goes, the owner shouting, reaching for the rat under the wheel, pool table style. Depending on what color you placed your money bets on is how it's determined it was paid out. That was an awful fun game. Juice Newton was scheduled to play at Thursday night at 8 p.m. The Beach Boys were scheduled for Friday night at 8 p.m. And the star band of the weekend, Charlie Daniels Band, was a head band for Saturday night, ready for some devil going down to Georgia music. And for $10 a piece per ticket, you can imagine all these shows sold out. During 1984's Exposition and Trade Show, the Oak Ridge Boys played on Thursday evening. Ronnie Millsap with Bandana played on Friday evening. And John Snyder with Sylvia played on Saturday evening. And with only 5,000 seats available, I'm pretty sure these shows were all sold out. I'm sure some of you sports geeks remember the night that Pete Rose hit 4192 and broke Ty Cobb's all-time record of base hits. Clyde Barbour sponsored a family night at the Riverfront Stadium every year. A busload of Maysville folks got to see that history-making game that night, including my parents. The 1985 Exposition and Trade Fair featured the Judds and Exile on Friday evening. Oh, by the way, Jim Barber has to be the luckiest guy at the festival. And on Saturday evening, John Waite was the main performer. Oh, I had to get my Maysville Tough Bulldog shirt out for this part. Whenever one of the local high school basketball teams made it to the Kentucky High School Athletic Association Sweet 16 tournament, Clyde Barbour would always put together some type of a lavish party in honor of the teams. Here's a picture of Clyde from 1988 as the Maysville High School Bulldogs made it to the 10th Region Finals. He entertained 4,000 guests at a lavish party in Louisville, Kentucky. Recently, while looking around the internet, I found video clips of the 1988 party where Maysville High School made it to the Sweet 16. So courtesy of Ron and Penny Bailey, check out some of the video clips of their cameras. Please comment below if you recognize anybody on Ron's video clips of the 1988 basketball party. For the 1989 Exposition and Trade Fair, Donny Osmond appeared on Friday evening as the main act, and on Saturday evening George Jones come to town to perform for the big crowds. October 13th, 1990, Mr. Clyde Barbour brought Willie Nelson to town. He played a concert at the Mason County Fieldhouse at the Mason County High School. All this fun came to an end on 9 August 1994. The Ledger-Independent says Maysville loses one of its greatest and most loyal friends. Clyde Barbour, civic and business leader, dies at age 63. As one of probably thousands of teenagers that got their first real job in America was with Clyde Super Valu. I feel honored to work for Mr. Barber from 1976 to about 1978 at the Forest Avenue store. Every town, if fortunate, will have a Clyde Barbour, said Gary Quinn of Freeport, Illinois, former publisher of the Ledger-Independent. Quinn said, "I've lived in a town with a Clyde Barbour and in a town without a Clyde Barbour. No one can believe the difference that one man can make over a period of years. He was an original. He had no peer." I like that last line best. He had no peer. And on 27 April 2001, guest columnist Philip Hay basically sums it up. Generosity of Clyde can never be replaced. I agree 100% with Mr. Hay. Thanks for watching. Remember, Jesus does love you. And we'll catch you some other time on another adventure soon on Maysville, Kentucky Simple Living.